May the way open before you. May you see.
This is Sandy and Kyle, and we are here doing a mini episode for the Way of Love podcast.
Yeah, we're hard at work on season 2, which has the theme of the way of love beyond the church walls. So you'll be hearing a lot more about that coming up in September.
Mm-hmm.
We're here between seasons, and we wanted to just have a little conversation about what it's like to have the Way of Love podcast out in the world. Sandy, you want to start? What's it been like for you?
I think the experience overall has been a learning experience in the sense that every episode, you and I, we share our stories and we share our experiences surrounding the 7 practices. It's made me think deeply and more intentionally about my faith and my spiritual life, how I want it to be more active in a sense. You know, we have to prepare for this show, and just doing that is a way of me practicing a certain practice of the way of love.
Mm-hmm.
But not only that, it's amazing how every time I read a comment or go online on social media and see posts about the podcast, it's so rewarding, and it's so amazing how sharing our stories and Bishop Curry sharing his knowledge and his experiences in his own life has such an impact in people's lives, and it encourages them to do the same. I think that's so great. And I made a new friend. I made a new friend in you. So that's also great. What about you? First thoughts about the experience?
I mean, let me just say ditto there. I always tell people part of what you're, quote unquote, selling in a podcast, I think, is the relationships between the people involved.
That's right.
And there's a way of inviting people into that. And it's always going to be partial, right? Unless we do an interview with you or whatever. But that doesn't mean it's not real and significant and meaningful. So that's way at the top of my list as well.
Mm-hmm.
I want to echo what you said also about a chance to talk a little bit about our lives and in particular in the Christian life. So often the gift that we have to give to each other is ourselves. This notion that when we open up, when we get a little vulnerable, as we sometimes have done, when we share these conversations about the sort of big stuff that matters in life, really remarkable things happen. And I think the Holy Spirit moves in powerful ways. Our wonderful colleague, Jerusalem Greer, has been making discussion guides for each episode. And I really commend that practice to listeners. But however you do it, I hope that our having these kinds of conversations inspires other people to have these kinds of conversations.
Yes, I agree. And I think that's something that it's a big theme in society right now. People crave to be listened. People crave to have that space to just be and communicate with each other. It creates new relationships. And it seems like people wanted this. People needed this. People needed to find other ways to be engaged, not only in their churches, but in their own spiritual growth. And I think this is a good source to do that.
My sense is that we're hitting a sort of sweet spot where whether someone is like a super church insider, comes every week, on lots of committees, involved in conferences. I've talked to folks in that situation who seem to be being fed by this, but then also folks who, maybe haven't been in church in a long time, maybe just primarily come on Sunday mornings. And as you say, are looking for a way to go deeper, and that this is a way to do that outside of the context of Sunday.
Yeah.
Well, last thing I just want to say, another thing that has struck me about all of this is I'm just always freshly reminded whenever I work on a project about the joy of creating and the spiritual act of creativity, right? God makes the world. We're made in God's image. We're called to contribute from our own place of creative action. And I just want to sort of hold that space and remind people of the joy of putting something together and encourage folks to think about how creativity might be a spiritual practice for them as well. And actually, that's a nice place to close and to say that we're hoping to have at least one conversation like that in season 2.
That wraps our bonus episode. Thank you all for listening. As always, we would love to hear from you, so contact us and leave your comments at wayoflove@episcopalchurch.org.
We've got some more bonus content coming your way on this feed in the coming weeks, including some time with Bishop Curry. And we're looking forward to launching Season 2, The Way of Love Beyond the Church Walls. And that's coming your way on September 17th. In the meantime, enjoy the rest of your summer.